Single leg circle is another original Pilates mat exercise that is really focused on, again, dissociating the femur and the thigh bone from the rest of the pelvis and the torso while we're having to find that stability within the torso and the pelvis. It's also working on hip mobility on both sides while we work stability on the opposite side. Setup for single leg circle, again, is going to start in a supine position on your back on the mat. So all the same normal cues that we give for supine on the mat. We want our neutral spine, knees bent, feet flat, shoulders rolled open. And then we're going to actually go ahead and extend the legs out long for the true variation of this. So feet are flexed, slightly drawing pubic bone to nose, pressing the backs of the legs down into the mat, and the heels are reaching forward. From here, we gently lift one leg up towards the ceiling and point the toes. And we're just simply going to draw a circle in one direction with the leg and then in the other. And there's a little bit of a tempo dynamic here where we want that swoop up, while trying to maintain as much stability as possible in the rest of the body. So you can see that my body is moving a little bit, but what we're looking for is that we're not getting this major movement through both hips as we circle the leg around. And you can start really small with these and have people go with a slower tempo. And then you can start to challenge that by taking it a little bit bigger, but still trying to hold the opposite hip down into the mat. And then you would repeat on the other side. So as I said, some of the common problems are just that we see people like really kind of throwing the body around and not being cognizant of where the rest of their body is in space. So focusing in on cues that help them stabilize the core can be really helpful. And again, it's not that there's not going to be any movement. Even if you watch videos of Joseph Pilates doing this exercise, he's pretty aggressive with the way he's throwing his leg around, which I think can be a helpful dynamic to practice. But how much stability can we give our body and support can we give our body in the meantime? Secondly, if people are feeling their lower backs and being in this long leg position is just not comfortable, we can always bend the knees, which is going to help bring that spine back into a more neutral position for a lot of people, and do the exact same thing there. Now we do have the dynamic of making sure this bent knee is staying straight upright as we circle the other leg around. So it's not wobbling, just as we don't want the hips to wobble when we do this with the long legs. That can be a great option for people, and kind of a little bit of a regression, but also just more supportive for the back as well. Another thing we'll see with single leg stretch, or really anything where we've got a leg up towards the ceiling like this, is sometimes you will have somebody that is just trying to bring their leg way too far in towards the body, where we're getting this major tail tuck up off of the mat where the knee is bending. And so just making sure to cue people in a range that they can maintain that neutral spine and the support from their trunk and their torso can be extra helpful as well.